From the CyberHub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the CyberHub Podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's January 26, 2022. We've got a packed show today here on the CyberHub Podcast. A lot of things going on in the world of cybersecurity. This year has started off with a bang. Last year ended with a lot more. We're going to be talking about Log4J on today's show, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Also, our headline story today, a Polkit vulnerability on Linux. Thank you to my good friend Chris for sending me that story last night, and then subsequently thereafter I was influxed with a bunch of them. So thank you so much to everyone who keeps sending me stuff. Like, it's awesome. You guys definitely help the research, so shout out to all of you for that. Also, we'll be talking about an Android malware that steals your crypto, then erases everything off your phone. That's evil. That's mean. That's just un-American. Also, the German government warning about China. Let's Encrypt is about to make a bunch of things go bad in about 2 days if you don't get your act together. And Google's dropping third-party cookies for APIs. All that on today's show. We'll talk about that. So stay tuned. A big shout out to KnowBe4 for their support of our show. Without their support, the show would not be possible. All of our shows, including all of the links to all of our supporters, are in the show notes. Go and check them out there. You can see so much of it. Our brand new website, cyberhubpodcast.com, is live. You can check out all of our shows, all of our episodes, everything on our podcast. If you want to be a guest on one of the shows, if you want to suggest topics, if you want us to cover something, if you want to be on the practitioner brief as well, come and shoot and talk about what's going on in the world. You can do that all on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. You can also sign up on our newsletter and do so many other great things. We're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Thank you to everyone for tuning in this morning. Let's get to some shout outs before we get into the show. Eddie from Dallas, Texas. Good morning to you, good sir. It's now warm there. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Scott, good morning with the coffee. Good morning to Brent. Coffee cup cheers, Christoph. Thank you for being here. Tadius, good morning to you as well. Justin, good morning. And David B, good morning. No coffee just yet, so a water cup cheers for now. That's like the people who sit at a dinner table and everyone's having wine or whiskey or bourbon, and they don't drink. They're either the DD or whatever the case may be, and then they're like, "Yeah, cheers, everyone, with my water." Yeah, we're gonna do this proper. My double espresso. Even though my throat's still recovering from Omicron, I am. Cough drops help. Tea helps. Bourbon helps. So all that definitely does help. But coffee cup cheers, folks. Let's get into today's show. Liz, good morning and cheers. Thank you. So let's get into this Polkit vulnerability. So this is really a 12-year-old vulnerability. It's been around for about 12 years, right? So PolicyKit and Polkit is a component in Unix, like many operating systems, used to control system-wide privileges. It allows non-privileged processes to communicate with privileged ones, and the Polkit's PKE XEC command can be used to execute commands with root privileges. So this specific security flaw, named PonKit, has been around for about 12 years. This was introduced in May of 2009. Qualys has verified that default installation of CentOS, Debian, Fedora, and Ubuntu are vulnerable, and warns that other Linux distributions might be vulnerable as well. We run on Linux and a lot of different things. This is not Log4J per se, but it's really, really significant. It requires patching. Okay. The root cause of the issue is really an out-of-bounds write that is created when the PKE XEC mains function processes command line arguments and attempts to locate the program to be executed. Because it's an out-of-bound write, an attacker can introduce an unsecure variable into that specific environment. However, available options for unsecure variables are limited. Hence, PKE XEC completely clears its environment shortly after the out-of-bounds write, according to Qualys. The security researchers found one such variable that allowed them to execute arbitrary libraries, which managed to exploit CV 2021-4034 to execute their own shared library as root. Qualys also says the vulnerability is a memory corruption that is exploitable instantly, reliably, in an architecture-independent way. Even if the Polkit daemon is not running, the FLoC cannot be exploited remotely, but does allow any unprivileged local user to gain access to root privileges. This was reported in November of 2021. The patch was issued January 15 days ago to the day. So something to get your hands around and patch your Linux systems. Again, this is not the Log4j. I was looking at LinkedIn this morning and people are like, oh, wow, look at this Linux. Oh, man. Calm down, folks. Just hold your horses. It's bad, but it's not bad. It's not Log4j. It's not Microsoft. It's get it patched. The patch is already out there. Now that this is kind of out in front of everyone and it's on every single major website, there's going to be people scanning for this. There's going to be people looking to take advantage of it. So you've got to go and get it patched. I think our next story, though, is a lot more serious. So VMware says patch your Horizon servers against ongoing Log4j attacks. So when Log4j came out, I remember looking at VMware and going like, hey, we haven't seen anything. You're fine. Just business as usual. Well, yeah, but you guys rely on Log4j. It's pretty much embedded in your entire product suite. So now VMware comes out and it's urging customers to patch critical Log4j security vulnerabilities impacting internet-exposed VMware Horizon servers that are being targeted in ongoing attacks. Following successful exploitation, threat actors deploy custom web shells into the VM Blast Secure Gateway service to gain access to organizations' networks. This is according to a recent NHS digital report about the VMware Horizon systems that were attacked with Log4j exploits. This allows them to carry various malicious activities, including data exfil and deployment of additional malware payloads, such as ransomware. Microsoft also warned 2 weeks ago that a Chinese-speaking threat actor tracked as Dev0401, who deploys the Night Sky ransomware on internet-exposed VMware servers, is using the Log4 shell exploit as well. VMware said that they're strongly urging customers to patch their Horizon servers to defend against these active attacks. Even with VMware security alerts and continued effort to contact customers directly, we continue to see some companies that have not yet patched their systems. Admins are warned not to let their guards down, to be vigilant. According to Shodan, there are tens of thousands of internet-exposed VMware Horizon servers, which all need to be patched against the Log4j exploitation at this time. Multiple threat actors started using this in the wild, including state-backed groups from China, Iran, North Korea, and now Turkey, as well as access brokers used by ransomware gangs. So a lot runs on VMware, a ton. In fact, some of you interact with it daily. It's how you log in. It's how you get access. So keep that in mind. Get your VMware Horizon servers all patched and updated. That's a top priority. Again, nation states are out there scanning for it and taking advantage of it. Don't let yourself be a victim. Where's my buddy Paul Cummings sent me this story yesterday because he knows how much I absolutely love Android. Love. So an Android banking malware strain has recently received a new feature that allows its operators to reset a device to factory settings after they've stolen money from a victim's bank account as a way to distract the owner from the recent theft and prevent them from taking any preventative measures. All they need to do is buy 24 to 48 hours. They get the money out of your account into theirs, and then they move it again, and by then it's gone. It's really gone. So the new feature was also discovered by researchers from a security firm, Cleafy, in a new samples of the Brada malware spotted in the wild in December of 2021. It's also known as the Brazilian Remote Access Tool, Android, which has been around since 2018 and is one of the many Android banking Trojans that's been active over the past few years. It's had a bunch of new features added, but what they do is once they've gained access into the bank account, they'll restore they'll do a forced factory reset, and that'll erase everything off the victim's phone. And then the victim is so preoccupied with that, they don't check the status of their bank account, and they may not find out until days later because they're so busy trying to get their Instagram account back and all of their contacts because they don't have anyone's phone number. And the last thing they check is the bank account that they've got because they assume that is very, very safe. So keep your eyes out for this. We have not seen this in the US. We've seen this happen in South America and Europe, but at some point it will come to the US. Right now it's been in Latin America, Italy, Poland, and the UK. So if you're in one of those nations, please make sure you send this alert. If you work with anyone in those places, please send this alert. And you know they use Android, send them this. That could be very helpful for them to know. The German government is warning about APT27 hackers backdooring business networks. The BVV, the German Domestic Intelligence Services, warn of an ongoing attack coordinated by APT27, the Chinese-backed hacking group. Their active campaign is targeting German commercial organizations, with the attackers using the HyperBro remote access Trojan to backdoor their networks. HyperBro helps the threat actors maintain persistence on the victim's network by acting as an in-memory backdoor with remote admin capabilities. The Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution has information about the ongoing cyber espionage campaign by APT27 using the malware variant HyperBro against German commercial companies. It cannot be ruled out that the actors, in addition to stealing business secrets and IP, also try to infiltrate the networks of corporate customers and or service providers. So with Germany being very, very busy right now with what's going on between Russia and the Ukraine, the Chinese are out there trying to take advantage of it from the backside through cyber capabilities. Keep your eyes out for this. If that's what they're using in Germany, sooner or later, it'll come into the US as well. So something to keep your eye on. Let's Encrypt is revoking lots of SSL certificates in about 2 days. Let's Encrypt will begin revoking certain SSL and TLS certificates issued within the last 90 days, starting on January 28th. The move could impact millions of active Let's Encrypt certificates. As a nonprofit certificate authority run by the Internet Security Research Group, Let's Encrypt provides an X.509 certificate for TLS encryption at no cost. Yesterday, the ISRG was informed by a third party who examined the Let's Encrypt Boulder code repo that there were 2 irregularities in the certificate authority implementation of TLS using ALPN validation method. Because of that, the certificate authority has to make 2 changes to how its TLS ALPN 01 challenge validation works. All active certificates that were issued and validated with this TLS ALPN 01 challenge before 12:48 a.m. UTC on January 26, when our fix was deployed, are considered misissued, and therefore we are bound to see them, revoke those, and reissue them. So if you've done this in the last 90 days, please make sure you're doing it yourself, because otherwise they're going to revoke it. Your website's going to go down. It's going to be insecure. It's going to cause a whole bunch of drama you don't want. Go and get it taken care of. Talk to your IT team there and your webmasters and make sure they get that taken care of. Google's also dropping FLoC and introduces topic APIs to replace tracking cookies for ads. Google on Tuesday announced that it's abandoning its controversial plans for replacing third-party cookies in favor of a new privacy sandbox proposal called Topics, which categorizes users' browsing habits into approximately 350 topics. The new mechanism, which takes place of the FLoC, short for the Federated Learning of Cohorts, slots users' browsing history for a given week into a handful of top pre-designed interests, which are retained only on the device for a revolving period of 3 weeks. Subsequently, when a user visits a participating site, the Topics API selects 3 of the interests, 1 topic for each of the past 3 weeks, to share with the site and its advertising partners. To give more control over the framework, users can not only see the topics, but also remove topics or disable it altogether. By labeling each website with a recognizable high-level topic and sharing the most frequent topics associated with the browsing history, the idea is to facilitate internet-based advertising by showing users a more relevant ad without needing to know the specific sites that have been visited. This is expected to launch as a developer trial in the Chrome browser, and it employs machine learning to infer topics from host names and is designed to exclude sensitive categories like sexual orientation, religion, gender, or race, Google points out as well. So this will be interesting to see. APIs instead of third-party cookies. What could possibly go wrong there? I wonder. So we'll see more about that. Folks, that's it for our show today. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up this week. Tomorrow, International Holocaust Day. We will be talking a little bit about that. And then on Friday, I've got 2 awesome episodes coming up. One Friday is International Privacy Day. So we'll have a show in the morning, a special show in the morning talking about privacy. And then that afternoon, I'll have my good friend John from SADA on. We're going to be talking about Zero Trust in our Friday conversation. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be epic. I promise you Friday's going to be great. Don't go anywhere. A lot to talk about there. For everyone who's tuned in today, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for the work that you do as cybersecurity professionals, for the fact that you care about what you're doing, that you see it as your mission. I don't take that for granted, that we're all gathering together to talk about what's going on, not because we want to gossip about it, but because we genuinely care about how to secure our organizations. We never take that for granted. I know I don't. Thank you all for tuning in today. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, right here with a lot more. Please make sure to subscribe. Go check out our CyberHub podcast, sign up for our newsletters, and a lot more. Till then, have a great rest of your day and stay cyber safe.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.